I wanted to ask you because I talked to a couple people off air and in my circle. Let me ask you personally, and then what do you think publicly? Is it, personally, do you think are you okay? Are you happy with the outcome from the trial?
Um, I think what initially happened when everything happened a year ago, I thought it was egregious, and I still think it is egregious for what Homeboy did. I think he was a bad cop. His record showed that he was a bad cop. I think cops that have that type of rap sheet should be fired and not be on any force. I think people need to also the states or the federal. We should have a open transparency and say, hey, listen, Officer Bryant 174 badge 745. You should be able to look that badge number up as an open because it's taxpayer money anyway, and say, all right, this guy has a clean record, or this guy, hey, he has 4 or 5 infractions. Why is Homeboy still on the force? Or what are these 4 and 5?
Like they do to us.
Yeah,
Because all of our public shit, all of our records, you can look up.
exactly. So like, why does he have 7 beatings in the last 6 months? Why is he in 7 fistfights in the last 6 months? Like things like that would help, kind of balance and help catch people earlier than usual. I think definitely the body cam footage has helped. The young lady who did record the whole incident, I think if she did not record the whole incident from beginning to end, he probably would have walked. It was the thing is that morally it was the right thing to do. He killed Homeboy. He killed George Floyd.
100%. In the street.
My concern is that I thought about this directly right after he got guilty, and I saw some of the videos. He didn't look worried. He didn't look like he had any remorse. And people don't get this, right? He can still appeal the charges.
Yeah, but everyone keeps talking about that shit. What's the likeliness of him winning an appeal?
It doesn't matter. It's just him could maybe reduce the sentence time, or give his legal team enough time to knock off one of the 3rd degree charge or 2nd degree charge. So him getting guilty is, in the grand scheme of things, is fantastic. But we still don't know what's going to happen in 2 or 3 years from now. And hopefully that doesn't go under the bridge, because everybody feels like, all right, guilty is over. And it's not. We don't know what can happen. He can still, for whatever reason, could have a technicality somewhere along the way, in a year or 2, 3 years, with an appeal. But morally, I think he did the same, a good thing. A good thing.
Happy? Even though we'll look at it short-sighted, without appeals, without
I think here's the thing that's kind of sucked too. Not kind of sucked, but he was guilty no matter what.
Right.
Going into it, I think that was because overwhelmingly everybody agreed that what he did was fucking wrong. I do think that the cops, especially the rookie guy who was there for 3 days. Nothing should happen to him, and he should still be a cop. I don't think he should not be a cop.
But they release all these photos. I mean, you're gonna have to get moved, right? You're not.
That's fine, but he shouldn't be. He shouldn't go to jail, and he shouldn't. Not be a cop. People don't get this. People think, oh, he was there. Everybody's fucking Captain Save-A-Ho when there's a fucking video, and it's fucking annoying. Everybody's hindsight 2020 Monday quarterback. Yeah, I would have done this, and if I was there, I would have done that, and then he should have done this, and this person should have done that. People panic when they fucking trying to get on the bus, and people are behind them. You have to rush to get on the bus. You fucking drop your wallet. People rush when you're about to pay at a store, and you can't fucking find what card to take out to pay for your meal. And people are gonna talk about certain situations. Now I get it. He's a police officer. He should have been trained better. But the guy was a thing, and especially when it comes to army, a military person, or even in the police, is a chain of command. So if you're chain of command, the guy who's been there for 16 years and you've been on the force 4 days, I think it was his 3rd day. Stand right there. Make sure nobody runs up on me. What are you gonna do? To that guy, and anybody in that situation would have done the same thing. About 99.9% of people would have done it. But all right, I got to stay here. It's my 3rd day in the job. He's my superior. And if I don't listen to him, I'm going to get subordination. I could be on desk duty. I could be on traffic duty. And people don't think that way. They just think that, all right, he was there, he should have done something, and so be it. But people don't take into account how long somebody been a cop. And I feel bad for that kid, that guy. And I think the other guy was only there for a couple months too.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane when you start to like look at the grand scheme of things and more accountability, and we'll get into accountability, wink, wink, in a second. But more accountability for the other guys in there, and then when you start to pull it back, you realize like, hey, one guy was a rookie; he ain't have no fucking saying matter. They probably would have smacked his ass down. The other dude was there for like an hour; he ain't got no juice. And obviously, homeboy, the guy who should be looked at the most was Derek's partner, because they had been.
If I'm not mistaken, the Chino, the Filipino guy.
Yeah, he was married to, I think, his sister.
Yep.
So, as partners, I think there's got to be a little bit more liability on your guy who's been with you. Let's say he running the streets 10, 15, 20 years, where he should have pushed him off. Right? We should be like, yo, he's good. Like, fall back. Right? But we just don't know. And then another thing, too, I didn't really watch the trial as much as I should have. But obviously, he had a vendetta against Floyd. They had worked together at a bar, security. There was some beef there. Who knows what it was? And it led him to do those kind of things. I feel like for the most part, people are happy with the outcome. But now we have two sides of the aisle, as always. People talking about the outcome, and some people talking about, military and sporting getting involved in some of their positions. We got a lot of right wing people saying some stuff. We got lefties saying some stuff. What I wanted to ask you too, I think for now I'm okay with it. If there's an appeal and homeboy walks, and we got to look at it again. I'm more concerned that is this guilty verdict going to lend itself to other situations where less people are killed by police, and already that doesn't seem that way, because someone was killed, whatever they were doing, resisting arrest or whatever, was killed during the trial. So to me, I don't know if I'm truly happy with the outcome, only because I don't think it's going to change anything. My next question to you was, do you think he received a fair trial? Because some people were arguing that, or some people in my camp were arguing that they should have sequestered the jury. They were letting those guys go home. They were letting them being influenced by media. They were letting them being influenced by a lot of information. And I'm not saying that the outcome wouldn't have been the same, but did he really get a fair trial? Whether it was, crazy circumstances, because I believe one of the points for the defense was like the exhaust from the engine got to homeboy. Another one was, he was on drugs. So these were kind of some of the things they were trying to push leading up to it. I don't care who you are, whether you're fit or not fit. You put someone's knee on somebody's neck for 9+ minutes, you're not going to make.
Something's going to happen. He was guilty the day of what he did, and everybody saw it. So like, for him, he was never going to get a fair shake, regardless. I think, like I said, vast majority of people agree what he did was fucked up. If people, you got the far right who will say, oh, the guy was a criminal and he was on drugs and blah, blah, blah. I get that. Like, just because somebody was a criminal and was on drugs doesn't mean that he deserved to die.
Facts.
Don't get me wrong.
It's called due process, bro.
Even if the shit was a counterfeit money, give him a ticket, make him go to court, pay whatever.
How many bills could he have had? It wasn't like he was moving weight, right? Like
Exactly.
it wasn't $1 million.
So like the whole shit was stupid from jump. But I think like he wasn't gonna get, in a sense, a fair trial because he was already guilty by public opinion. Like if you got picked for this trial, there's a great chance that you knew what this trial was about and who this person was, and there was no way that was people were gonna let him walk.
So you think even if those jurors, they were already under the influence, because we all seen basically when he played judge, jury, and executioner, we all did too. Yep. So the fact that we seen it, he killed homeboy and he basically assassinated himself and his career on TV potentially. So right then and there, he signed his own death warrant.
And that was clear as day what he did. Now talking about the difference. Now we're gonna talk about this next case that happened yesterday or the day before. Yesterday. It happened yesterday morning. The young lady, Ma'Khia, I hope I'm not mispronouncing her name, Ma'Khia Bryant, was shot and killed by police. And my friend was outraged already. He's like, oh, look, if she was white, this would have changed, blah, 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 blah. That was the narrative right away. And I was like, I asked, I was like, uh, did she have a weapon? Was the full story? What happened? Those were my questions first. Not that, oh, that's fucked up what the police did. I don't know like when I go into a situation, I like to know what's going on in order to make an informed opinion about something. So then throughout the day yesterday, more facts and more facts and more facts and more facts coming out. And then some people start changing their tune. And then the people who look stupid didn't change their tune because they're already on what we talked about in the beginning is this tribal side. So from what you saw and from what you've heard so far, what are your thoughts on the whole thing?
So I had to watch it a couple times because there's multiple layers to this. First of all, I definitely think it's going to be extremely difficult to police in America now, right? Just because no matter what you do, if they're not white, you're going to be killed by public opinion. Okay, that's just one angle. Another angle to me is, I always like relating things to film. I don't understand why everything's got to be bang bang to kill, right? Like what happened to like even in the movies, right? Like me and my wife were talking about this the other day, and we were like, even in the movies, they were like, "Yo, shoot him in the shoulder, shoot him in the leg," right? Like they're not even trying to like, if you're gonna shoot somebody, at least maim them, right? So now, obviously, video comes out. Homegirl has a knife, and she's like lunging at the young lady's face, right?
Yep.
So potentially he might have saved someone. This is my cause for pause. Guns are powerful. I don't care what kind of gun it is. If it's not like a 22 piece of shit that's like a goddamn bottle rocket, most guns kill people and they're extremely strong. What would have happened? First of all, you're opening fire in broad daylight. Number two, I get it. Like, he told them to chill, 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 chill. Again, like you like to say, bang, 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 right? So here he comes. He's like, yo, what's happening? Homegirl runs up on him and is like, yo, 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 yo. And you trying to like, figure out the situation real quick. And you're like, yo, chill. You already guns drawn. Now, before gun drawn, and this again is, I've been in life or death situations. But I've never been in a life death situation when it comes to me mediating the life or death situation, right? But I'm usually very calm. Would that have been an opportunity to tase her? Now, would the taser have been strong enough? Would she still have, potentially killed the girl, right? Even way, because there's a lot of things that could have happened wrong. I'm concerned you shot her. What if you missed? Like he shot her like he was goddamn, Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon. Like, I got this. You know what I mean? Like he could have, shooting a gun is fucking hard as shit. Okay. Yep. And granted, he was close to her, but he could have missed. It could have ricocheted. It could have shot somebody. Like, I just felt like there was a bit of irresponsibility on his behalf. Also, too, if you see somebody like that, why are we so quick to pull a gun? I would have took a baton. You could have battered upside down the head. I'm not condoning violence, but I'm just saying, if we're going to use excessive force, there should be layers. We shouldn't go to the automatic, I'm going to kill you part. Right now, to kind of bring it full circle a little bit and kind of get you back in here so we can get a little bit of dialogue, because there's a couple of other things that I have calls for pause too. But I was just worried that he was quick to shoot her dead. Right, he saved the life potentially, but it could have gotten worse than what it was. I just think again, people seeing it was a fast video. The body cam. First of all, we're shooting right now on 1080 body cams. We're shooting on 1080 cameras. This shit should be like a 4K. If you got a body cam, that shit should be crystal. And there should be cameras all over the cars. Like, we really need to start looking at surveillance on how we're surveillancing the police within the police, on more accountability and what we're being able to see. Because it even looked like he was trying to touch it to turn it off.
I don't know if you a lot of those body cams, you have to turn it on when you do a call.
I get that, but after he made the shot, it looked like he was trying to fuck with it in some capacity to look like, I don't know if he was.
Maybe he was in shock.
Again, someone that brought up to me in a situation that those body cams got to be on 247, and we got to start.
No,
bro. Yes,
no.
dude.
No, because what if I'm in the car talking about, I'm cheating on my wife? Like, I don't want people to listen to that conversation.
Got you, but it's the police job, right, to vet the video, and
that's too much. That's too much. You can't. It's impossible.
Really?
It's impossible. You think about it. Just put it like this, right? If there's 100 cops, right? If there's 100 cops and they do 24 hours, right? If there's 100 cops, 24 hours, that's 2,400 hours of footage. You can't police that. Now you do 2,400 hours times 7 days a week. It's impossible.
But what if you could? What if you could monitor it based on altercations like shootings? Like
That's what they do.
I know
The
okay.
cop has to turn on the body cam every time they answer a call.
Okay, that's fair then. All right.
So it's from the beginning of the call to when the thing. So like that video that they showed us wasn't him. They didn't show him driving in there. Once he got the call over the radio, it goes on.
Okay. Another thing that I was concerned about too, right? You got two women fighting, and I'm not saying. I mean, obviously, homegirl looked like she eats her Wheaties and shit. She was a tough looking chick. We just had mass shootings across America, right? Some of these guys were white gentlemen. Some of them were other colors. All of those dudes were apprehended. You got two girls scrapping in the street, and you guys can't smash that. So I was just worried on how it was handled. Now, like I said, now the scrutiny is going to be weighed in. At the end of the day, he saved her life. He saved that other girl's life.
Saved two of them.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know.
So this is how. All right. So I'm explaining it for the people who haven't seen it, who haven't heard it, or haven't seen multiple angles. So the cop pulls up to the scene. If you notice in the video, he runs out. He's going, "Hey, what's going on?" Shorty that falls in front of him. There's video of the knife coming down. The girl who had the knife originally is coming down at the girl who fell at the cop's feet. So that's already alarm number one for the cop popping off. Like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on? She just swung a knife at the girl who just fell at my feet. That's the first thing. Then she's scuffling around with somebody else. She pins a girl to the fucking car, and she has an arm cocked back. And I'm screaming, "Stop! Stop! Stop! Stop!" And who knows if he doesn't shoot?
Right, because he would have been under more trouble if she got stabbed and he didn't do shit.
Exactly.
Right? That's what I'm saying. The policing thing is going to be very difficult to manage now.
So that's why with this one, I thought it was clear as day, clear shut. I thought it was fine. I don't think anything was made up of it. I just thought it was a lose-lose situation, no matter what happens for the police. Because even if, all right, and you said you've been in common situations like this, but if anybody has ever gotten hurt doing something in a heightened state, if you gotten hurt, you get adrenaline pumping through your body.
100%. It's hard, bro.
So even if he would have shot homegirl in the leg, first of all, she was a big girl. So who knows how that would have affected her.
Right. Even if the tape going to rip that shit out and be like, fuck out of here, bro.
And all right, so technically she was the one who called the police.
Who did? The girl that got shot?
The girl with the knife. Yes, the girl with the knife. The girl who got shot. Ma'Khia Bryant is the one who called the cops.
Wow, that's crazy.
They were trying to jump her. So when the cop pulls up, there's mad chaos. Now here's a problem that I have with people policing people in a sense where we don't want the police involved. There was like 5-8 people. There was a couple of grown men. There was a couple of boys there.
All those dudes posted up for the fucking, that's how they do.
It was World Star.
Right.
That's what it was. Why didn't anybody in the community stop the fight?
There's no sense of community anymore. No one gives a fuck about anybody.
Exactly. Now, also, the girl that fell in front of the cop's foot on the dash cam, if there's a video, it goes play by play. I mean, frame by frame. It slows it down. The girl who falls in front of the cop, one of the young men kick her in the back while she's on the ground down. And that obviously is not talked about because obviously somebody got shot. And life took away. But the cops are there. Homeboy, young kid, kicks the girl who's on the ground, kicks her in the back. So if you're a person, I don't care who you are, unless you have elite Navy SEAL training, you're pulling up to a situation. You already got calls. Hey, I'm about to get jumped. There's people, whatever. You pull up, trying to assess the situation. You hear people screaming, yelling. You run to the curb. You see a young woman fall in front of you with another young woman swinging down with a knife in her hand. He sees that. Then also seeing that, he says, hey, stop, stop, stop. The young lady goes and she pins a woman against the car and she cocks her arm back with the knife in her hand, and you have to make that split-second decision. Now, people don't like to talk about this, but knives in this country kill more people than guns. And people when it goes to murders, people don't want to talk about hammers, bats, golf clubs, hands and feet kill more people than guns, and people don't talk about that. That once it's a gun, it's like blah blah blah. Now here's other scenarios I'll paint for you, right? So let's say if homeboy doesn't shoot her, He runs and tackles her, right? So he runs, he tackles her. She then falls, lunges forward, and she kills the other woman and stabs the other woman still. Oh, why did the cop tackle her so hard? Why did he have to, hold her down like that? That would have been probably one of the narratives. Here's another narrative. Let's say if he did stop her, grabs her, let's say by whatever instinct she's holding onto the knife, he falls on top of her, she falls on top of the knife. Oh, why did he grab her like that? Why didn't he tackle her the right way, like a cornerback would in the NFL? It would be some stupid shit like that. Why didn't he tackle her like Ray Lewis? It would have been a more efficient tackle. It would have been just something stupid. Now here's the third scenario. What if he grabs her, she turns around and she stabs him in the neck? Like there's a whole bunch of narratives that could have played out and variables that nobody wants to talk about. And I get it; it's a heightened sense of thing. But this wasn't gray. This was black and white. Like homegirl had a knife and was going to either stab the girl in the stomach or in the throat or in the face.
On her face, bro. She was not holding back.
Exactly.
Going for a fatal.
And then let's say if homeboy did shoot her in the leg or in the ass and she still stabbed homegirl twice. Oh, why didn't he take a kill shot? Or why did he shoot her faster or shoot her more? It would have been something. It's always going to be something. It's always going to be a narrative.
That's why I think it's going to be dangerous for police to police people now, because any little thing that's going to come up is going to be a situation. The only thing is that, if you strip everything away and like you say, you keep it black and white, a police try to save somebody's life. How he did it, it could be up for argument. But also the climate that we're in, police are obviously taking black lives at a pretty higher rate than normal. They're taking other people's lives at a higher rate than normal.
Okay, I know you was gonna bring this up. I wanted to bring this up.
Go ahead.
Right. So in the year 2020, cops killed 457 white people.
Okay.
They killed 241 black people. They killed 169 Hispanics, and they killed 126 unknown in 2020 alone. Cops.
Okay. Right.
Now,
how many police died? Because my argument is not black, white, brown. These are just killing civilians at an alarming rate. That's my biggest argument, right? And that's the thing. Because I checked in 2018, we died 1,021. Wait, 1,021? Yeah, that's how you say that number. People for the 2018 year. 108 cops were killed by civilians. That number is kind of at a different scaling point. Now, granted, there are other numbers that bring it in. There are 50 million stops annually, let's say, right? And so then when you look at it, it looks like a teaspoon and the size of a fucking pool. But still, I'm concerned that the police are getting, first of all, their number one a tool to shut shit down is guns, okay? Now, they only have to train their gun twice a year.
But that's I don't blame the cops. I blame
the institution. It's the institution.
I blame the system that doesn't or the people who we vote
accountable more for the way we do it. I feel like, what's crazy? The New York Yankees, I don't even know what their payroll is, but it's pretty fucking high. Okay, I think it was 300 mil? Right? The fucking NYPD's payroll is $6 billion. What the fuck are we doing here? Let's forget about the Yankees. The Yankees fucking suck. The Dodgers just won a chip. It was like 340. That's a championship team.
Yep.
For fucking $6 billion, you can't even get like the proper training for these guys.